Well, it was 1982 or 3 when I think it was 83 actually I bought this game. And it's a football management game, but it's mainly text based. When I played it as a kid, many, many years ago, too many years ago, uh, I wasn't really impressed by it. The only thing I thought was cool is you could rename the team, and the players. That was the only good thing. So I could put my favourite players in there. Let's have a look. Well, back then in the 80s, I guess you had Cyril Regis, Tony Morley, Kevin Keegan, whose skill is one. That was all that about. Brian Talbot, Graham Ricks, Arsenal player, I believe. Osman, is it Rick Osman? I don't know. Kenny Sampson, Alvin Martin, West Ham player. Phil Neal, Liverpool. D. Watson, don't remember the name. Phil Parks, was he? I'm sure he was. I'm sure he was West Ham. Might be wrong. Anyway, when you're selling players, you got to hold out for a high price. So, my tip to you, if you're playing this game, which I doubt, is always accept the second offer because it will be better usually, or you won't get another offer. But there was always a second better offer. So don't take the first bit of money that you're offered. You will be offered more, and there we go. See, boom. I still got it all these years of playing this game, and the skills are still there. One thing I hate about this game, and I've got it on average skill setting because it has been a while, is the repetitiveness, the injuries, and you've got to look out for that. Energy, morale, defense, midfield, attack. Let's have a look. Press C to change team, or 99 to continue. Basically, there's no changing formations. There's no subs in this game. You'll notice that. It's very, very strange. And you can have as many defenders, strikers, midfielders as you want, and that'd be crazy. Obviously, the injuries will, if you don't have extra players quickly, they will cost you a lot of points. So that's the other tip. If you're playing this, which you won't be, no one will be playing this game. The thing that people liked about this was the actual match highlights. Now, when they reviewed this game, I think back in '82, they mentioned that the highlight was the match in play. So this fantastic green screen you got here at the pitch is lauded as being one of the best features. It's been put in several top 10 and top 20 lists from owners of the Spectrum, which I didn't think it was deserved it. It was a budget release, years later, and it was dirt cheap. But I didn't really, I played it for hours, but I didn't really think it was all that. I can't believe it's been voted by the Spectrum fans as the 26th best game of all time. Yeah. That was in Your Sinclair magazine 2004. So yeah, that was still a few years ago. But my God, you can have like the first and second game, but I can't remember what the difference between the two were. I think this is 2 that I'm playing because you can change the names. I'm sure that's it. But you got to balance your finances. Your money is really important in this game. The income and spending on players and loans and everything like that has got to be taken into account, but you just try and stay out of loans. If you're having a bad run of results and need to buy a really good player, you can get a loan, but then you got to keep on winning and win the big matches and the competitions to make the money back, and that's how you beat the game. The players are randomised. You can end up selling a player and then finding that player comes back 2 games later to be offered to you, because after every game you're given in how much money you've earned, how much you've spent, all the bills and everything coming through, and you're also offered a chance to buy a player. Only one player, it's never 2 or 3. You can have the maximum of 16 players, and then the players you can buy will just stop unless you sell a player, and then they'll start again. That kind of sucked as well. I wanted a huge team, I wanted like 11, squad of 11, and then another 10 players on the side, or 20. I wanted a huge team because it would make balancing the squad harder, and you didn't want to spend that much money, so you have to find it from somewhere. That would have been really good, but This game, it was just so overrated. Even in my day, I thought it was a missed opportunity, and there was lots of features I thought could have been in the game. You know, there's no like newspaper clippings, there's no cutscenes, which were very rare in these sort of games. You know what I mean? A cutscene in this sort of game would just be a picture. Although Football Manager 1 was totally text-based, Football Manager 2 was a lot better. I don't even remember buying it, but I know I probably tried it. I do remember the pictures, the training screen, the training, and the actual pitch that he did the training on as well, you know, where he did the passing and stuff. And it was, there's a bit more colour to it. There was a crowd of people as well, so you actually saw crowd instead of just players. So that was pretty good. And you can man-mark players. There was more just put onto it. This game is getting a lot better. I probably would have played this a lot more. I think I probably tried it. But again, my memory fails me. The second game was, pretty good. But the first one apparently was much better and highly rated. But hey, what can you do? But the one thing I did hate about number 2 was apparently all the players are not named. So the opposing players, you don't know who they are. It's really weird. Can be a bit weird. I just thought it was just really, strange that they didn't have opposition players' names. You just don't know who they are, just like the first game. So you're just playing the team, but you don't know who's scoring against you. And even when in the first game here, when your team members score a goal, you don't know who actually scored. That's another thing that I really would have liked to have seen. Where you can actually see like a goal tally, like LMA Manager. He would tell you which players had scored the most goals, and that used to be quite good fun. And I had a really good progression system. That LMA Manager was a great series of games, and I missed those on the PlayStation 1. The first 2 LMA Managers were fantastic. And it went downhill after that, just like EA's. Basically, football games are going downhill fast. But yeah, I do have little to no recollection of playing the second one, or even the third one. I know the third one I definitely didn't buy. The first one, it was boring. Good for a few hours. I think if you're going to buy this game today, I'd probably pass on it. It's just not pass on it. I'm playing words there. I just don't think it was a great game then. It's not a great game now. There's just so much missing in this game, It's like when it's thinking and calculating the scores, adding them up. It's worse than Jim Bowen counting money at the end of Bullseye's commercial break, It takes them 2 or 3 minutes. No one counts that slow. This is just the same sort of thing, The game is just slow. Even back then, come on. The goals is just beeps, boops. There's no real, there's no real atmosphere. It doesn't get you drawn in this game. I do believe Football Manager 2 had better sound effects and chanting, or at least cheering, when the goal was scored. But again, my recollections are very muddy. I only just remember playing School Days, School Days 2, and that was just from watching somebody else's Spectrum video. I went, oh my god, I played that game. And I've uploaded a video on School Days, so you'll have to check that out. But until then, this game is probably rightfully up in the top 25 Spectrum games of all time, but for me, it was very dull. It was like The Hobbit, but at least The Hobbit had pictures. The Hobbit Text Adventure is a classic. I got stuck after a while. Even my dad couldn't work it out, and he's a clever guy, and he's read the Tolkien books. Yeah, heavy. But there we go. When my team is doing really bad, I'm bringing it back because I bought players. Even though the player that you've sold would turn up to buy, it's a bit of a pain. And I can't believe you can only select 16. 16 is your total amount of players you can have. Crazy. You should have the biggest team in the world. Doesn't matter. Have 50 players in your team. That'd be great. But nah. Be a big shot. There's no financial punishments or, interactions, nothing like, incidents that would affect the team, and your actual management of the club. Maybe riots and you get fined. That would have been good. As I said, this game could have been a classic in my eyes you've had little touches to make it better. But hey, you know, it was the 80s, it's the Spectrum. It wasn't a Commodore that had a bit of juice in it. It's just a plain 48K game, and it works. It worked then, but it doesn't work for me now, so I can't recommend it. And if you do buy it, then you're mad because you can't buy it. You can download it free and watch it. Anyway, they don't make them like they used to, and that's all I'm going to say. Enjoy the rest of the match. It's a nail biter, this one, and yeah, Man United. I sold Keegan. Brave enough to sell for peanuts. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll be back soon, hopefully with another Spectrum video. If you want me to go over some more reminisce about other games, let me know in the comments below, because I'd like to do this more often, because it's good to talk about old games. I'll talk about TV and all that next time, I think. The stuff we used to watch. Anyone remember Monkey Magic? That was a show and a half, but yeah, Monkey Magic. Shit. I remember the sound effects. Oh my god. Before I get into it, before I choke on my old drool, my god, the new series came out and I was just excited as hell until I saw the lead. It's killed it for me. So I won't be watching Monkey Magic. Next Generation's been announced. I guess it's Picard is back. And that made me happy, because growing up in the 80s, obviously episodes of Next Generation were hitting the screens. You know, it was really good times. So I used to like watching Monkey Magic, and then a little bit of Star Trek as well. All the good stuff. What was it, Doctor Who? Can't remember. Might have been Doctor Who and then Monkey Magic. Yeah. Anyway, thanks for watching. I'll leave you now with this nail-biting gameplay.